Welcome friends to the Disney Path. I'm JJ, I'm your host, and today we're going to be taking a look at something that I think has been going on right underneath our noses and is part of Disneyland Forward. Disneyland Forward is all about improving the resort and our experience inside the parks, and I think that I can show you some improvements that have been going on lately and are going on right now that, from a certain point of view, are Disneyland Forward projects. So today, let's look at some sneaky projects that are part of Disneyland Forward. What do these projects have in common? Well, they all used to be Fast Pass distribution centers. Oh, the Fast Pass, where you didn't have to pay to get closer to the front of the line. You just had to manage your time better. Well, those days are gone forever, but the areas that used to hold the Fast Pass distribution machines have been slowly changing over since Disneyland Forward was announced into new areas inside the park with a big impact. Let's take a look. The Edelweiss new seated area after you get your snack, your twisted cheesy garlicky pretzel, you can now come over, oh by the way, after waiting in a new shaded line area, into the Edelweiss Lodge presented by Coca-Cola. Now this improved area did serve at one time as the Fast Pass distribution center for the Matterhorn. You can see here, you'd come over, get your Fast Pass, and then get over to the Matterhorn. But today, it's all about seating and shade and having somewhere just to sit for a little bit and be able to enjoy the day as you're enjoying either your snack or just taking a rest. This is exactly the type of area that guest surveys talked about when they said Disney needed more of this. And another great example of a sneaky improvement for Disneyland Forward as the park is making all kinds of improvements. In fact, here's the only place you really had to sit until the completion of this area. And of course, Disney did not just throw up a shade structure. They put a lot of thought, time, and effort into it so that really, if you had not been to Disneyland many times before, you might think that this thing had just always been here. The detail in the wood and the detail for everything that surrounds it really does mimic the food area that's always been available. So, another great example of what Disney is doing, kind of just right in front of everybody to make things a better experience for all the people coming to Disneyland, but also making it so lots of improvements, sneaky improvements. I gotta believe these are part of the internal improvements for Disneyland Forward. After the announcement of all the Disneyland Forward improvements, this area right across from Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout was not too long afterwards changed into what we have today, from what was once a Fast Pass distribution center into a seating area. Now, it had been changed already into a seating area, but this area went through a lot more of an extension in the seating area, as you can see back here. Of course, this area didn't always look like this. It was, in fact, as you can see in the picture here, a distribution center that people would often use to get on to the Guardians of the Galaxy ride, especially during the times of high traffic. I do remember getting some fast passes right here, but another example of some great work, some sneaky great work that Disney has done to put in some shaded areas, both by request by the surveys that Disney has published, said that they needed more seating, more shaded areas, but also just a great use of an area that now becomes what we can all enjoy. One part of this seating area I'm not sure about is the clock. Now, this clock is inaccurate. It is actually about 10:45 in the morning as I'm standing here filming this, but the clock is stuck at 8:05. I don't know if 8:05 has some sort of significance or if the clock's just not working. If you know anything about 8:05 and Guardians of the Galaxy, or Pim's Kitchen really, put it in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you think. Is it broke, or does it have some kind of significance? Now making our way over to the latest area where Disney is making an improvement in both eating and we believe some shaded area, is this construction walled area that is seating for the Hungry Bear Jamboree. So as you can see, that that goes way down here and covers all the way around the eating area of the downstairs. Let's try and get a look to see what's going on behind these walls. After getting your food at the Hungry Bear Barbecue Jamboree, there's been plenty of seating upstairs over here, but this new area being constructed probably is going to bring some new features. So we made our way upstairs, and taking a look from downstairs, it doesn't look like much behind those construction walls, but check this out. This is a great deal of construction going on. Yes, it's an open hole. They've got some piping there to put in, and look at this. This is definitely going to be some kind of an extension of this area. This giant trenched area could be for footings for an extended shaded area. Could come all the way out to where these construction walls are. As people walk by, you can see that there's still plenty of room to get by. You could be, 5-6 people across and still make it in. But they've got a lot of work to do here. This is not going to be ready anytime soon, but again, an example of a sneaky DisneylandForward improvement. Let's go take a look at the other side here. All right, from this angle, again, another very large open pit area. Sewer lines, water lines, electrical lines, all have been surveyed, all ready to go for whatever improvement is coming. We're definitely going to track this one, as this is not a small project. It'll be interesting to see if this tree survives the project. It does look like it's being protected in place, and if I had to take a guess right now, two things are pretty apparent. One, they've got some repair to do for like these areas right here where this old rusted out pipe is. They've put in, looks like, some new piping there, so that's good. That will make it so that it's not in the way in the future. But I'd say that this area here is probably going to see something similar to what we just looked at for Edelweiss. So very interesting. Going to be a great addition and provide some space for people to eat, to relax, or maybe just enjoy the views of the rivers of America. But we for sure will come back and track this one. Wow, a lot of work going on for improvements for people to sit and eat at Disneyland. So an early example of what Disney has done with the old Fast Pass distribution centers is over here in Radiator Springs, over at the Radiator Racers ride. Let's go check that out. So here at Radiator Springs Racers, what is now the Parts and Stuff sign here used to be the distribution center. You can see that in the picture right here. And this entire building that now serves as a snack and a gift shop, lots of car stuff of course in there, used to be the actual spot that you would go into to get your Fast Pass distribution center. So this was an early effort by Disney to change what was once Fast Pass into something else, and a definite clear sign that we're just not going to see Fast Pass back. Those days are gone, but an early example of what Disney has done with these areas. Near the dock where the Columbia and the Mark Twain make their voyages around the rivers of America, and there's a sweet rowing canoe boat crew going through the rivers of America, is another seated, shaded area. Now this one's been here a long time, right? These benches have been here for quite a while, but it's an example of what Disney's trying to repeat as they go through these sneaky upgrades to the resort itself, providing these shaded areas in abundance. Hopefully, we need more of them. All right, that's it for this time on the Disney Path. A little shorter video, but just wanted to talk about all these great little improvements going on in the park that we're currently seeing. If you haven't done so already, now's the time to hit that like button and subscribe, please, if you're not subscribed already, so we can keep making these videos. Until next time, friends, be good to others, be good to yourself, and have fun on the Disney Path.